Hello, gentle viewers. This is Avindian once again. I'm introducing you to a new series here for the channel of Game Dev Tycoon. Those of you that follow me on Twitter at Avindian Gaming have probably noticed that there was already a video up earlier. I had some technical problems. It was recording audio but no video. So this is a re-recording of the initial stage of this game. As you can see from the introduction, welcome to Game Dev Tycoon. In this business simulation, you have been transported back in time to start your very own game development company right at the beginning of the PC revolution. In the next 35 years, you can build your dream company, create best-selling games, gain fans, and become the leader of the market. So this is a game about making games. It's really a lot of fun. When I first came up with the idea of making this channel, this is the kind of game I wanted to highlight. The kind of game that needs this extra attention. Game Dev Tycoon was developed by Greenheart Games in 2012, I believe. And this is a game I've had a lot of fun with. It's surprisingly deep, and there's enough replayability that I've restarted the game at least a half dozen times, not even counting the recording earlier today. So let's dive right in. So the company is going to need a name. We will choose Avindian Gaming, of course. Avindian for the player name. As I did last time, I like this 80s whole sweater vest shirt. It looks like you might have sandals on. That's definitely the kind of thing. I've played this game a lot of times before. I'm going to hit no. This will give us the most true-to-life experience. And it'll give us a little bit more fairness since I haven't played this game in a while, so I've forgotten quite a bit of what the different hints do. So we shall say no. No, I say. We'll use my old save here. Overwrite that. And here we are. So we need to click Develop New Game. So every game you develop, you want to try to get a good balance of design and technology. The closer the two are together, the more successful your game will be. You can add advanced engines, new gaming parts to make your game better over time. You start with $70,000, no fans, and in 35 years, you're supposed to make the biggest, best gaming company you can possibly have. So we're going to call this Awesome Game. And every time you start the game, you're going to get 4 new starting topics, and there's quite a few. You always want to try to produce a new topic and new genre every time you create a game because you get bonuses for your experience. Later on in the game, you'll develop the ability to make sequels, and at that point, it's not as important. Superheroes are a big thing. So we will now call this the Super Awesome Game. Genre, gotta be an action, although RPG is tempting. No, we'll make it an action game. If you happen to know a lot about gaming history, you'll have an advantage in this game. Because you'll be able to predict which will be successful and which will not be successful. Because, at least as of this version of the game, things stick pretty true to life. So the G64, not the Commodore 64, that's clearly a legally similar but distinct product, is more expensive but has a much bigger market share to be in the game. As you get more platforms coming out, the dev cost will change, as will the market share. I'm going to go ahead and go with the G64. It does cost more to produce games for it, but we should make more money on each game. So we'll have to see how that turns out for us. So we've set our topic, our theme, superheroes, our genre, action, and our platform. So right now we can tell the minimum cost is going to be $25,000, and it could end up being more as we use our engine. So we definitely want graphics-based games. They're more expensive to develop, but they're going to get you a better return later on. I guess people didn't like Return to Zork very much in this universe, unlike the rest of us. One thing to keep in mind as kind of a pro tip, and I'll mention this again, I'm sure, you want to specialize in 2D or 3D graphics shortly after 3D graphics become available. Unlike in real life, the highest tier 2D graphics are just as popular as the highest tier 3D graphics. So if you try to develop both of them, you're wasting money and research points, which you can see up here in the top, and research points are kind of hard to come by. So we're going to use this as our base platform, and then as the game progresses, he'll start working on it, adding design and technology, and then we decide how we want to allocate our time. Action games need to have good gameplay, a pretty good engine, story and quests not so important. And so we get some bubbles. As the game is developed, we'll get bugs. At the end of the game development process, we can give him a little extra time and it'll work those bugs out. Okay, we need pretty good level design, decent AI, dialogues not so much. I mean, who plays a Call of Duty game for the dialogue? I don't. And we pick up a few more points, a few more bubbles. And last but not least, gotta have good graphics. Sound is nice, but not critical. And then world design at the bottom. For those of you who did catch at least part of the original video, I've turned the music off for the game. The music's really good, but unfortunately it's also really loud. So he's debugging, 0 bugs. And our first game is finished. So you can see here we get a 1.5 bonus to all of our experience, and as you gain more experience, you'll unlock new research items. So the more time you spend, the more experience you'll gain for that particular thing. Let's release the game. So I'll take a couple of weeks, and here's the first exciting part of the game. We see how the game reviews. Oh, this is good. An 8 to start out with. A 6, not as good. Another 6. And another 8. So sometimes in the reviews you'll get a hint here knowing that gameplay is important for action games, which we kind of already guessed. Avindian Gaming, a newcomer in the game industry, has just released their first game. Super awesome game. The game received favorable reviews. With such a good start, Avindian Gaming are sure to gain fans quickly. Fans will buy your products no matter what quality they come out at. It is also a good barometer of how successful you are as a company, because you'll make money, lose money as you spend it. So we hit OK. And the first thing we do every time we finish a game is we generate a game report. So it gives us a tiny bit of research, but more importantly, it'll tell us what we did right and what we did wrong in choosing our game development. We are selling like hotcakes. Very nice. Number 27 overall. We already have 60 fans after our very first game. Of the fact there's a DeLorean in the garage. That's like as 80s as it can possibly get. 10,000 units sold, and as you can see from our little bar graph up here in the top right, we're still going very, very strong. Alright, our game report is finished. Superheroes in action is a great combination, and world design doesn't matter very much. So our next step, we can either research a new topic or we come up with our own game engine, but we don't have enough research points for that. So instead, we'll just make another game. Oh, let's see here. Let's make a mystery games. Simulation, maybe? And we will call this one this is an extremely obscure reference to 19th century French literature. So if you happen to notice it, feel free to think very highly of yourself. This is a great opportunity. If you like, you may support this channel using Patreon. And if you decide to do that, one of the rewards you can receive is you can get your name put into the game in places like this. I think it actually said Hemlock Shears was the name they used for the famous detective who I cannot legally mention. But it's a really good book series. Not the original, but the 19th century French thing. But in any case, back to the point. So if you want to support me on Patreon, you can. Certainly do not have to feel obligated to. And this is the only time I will mention this for this particular series. So if you want to get in the game, that's how you can get in the game. For these first 2 series, I'll also take recommendations in the comments for games. Just remember that, there are things like trademarks, and I would really rather it not be sued. So we can already tell the market share for the G64 is actually getting high. Remember, started the game at 56 and 44. And we just spent a whole... I'm going to save our money. We're going to go with a PC for 2 reasons. We want a PC title under our belt. And second, I want to save this cash for when we develop our new engine, which will be coming a little bit later on. So we've got Mystery Simulation, PC, 19th century French novels, and their titles. Definitely 2D graphics, without question. And so he's going to get to work on that. Story's super important for a mystery game, I think. Gameplay a little bit less. No, engine high, gameplay middle. Those of you who like min-maxing, you can find all sorts of formulas for this game on... there's a Game Dev Tycoon wiki, there's a Reddit thread. I'm going to do this just off my memory and what makes sense to me, and maybe they'll work out and maybe they won't. And super awesome game, cranking out the dough for us. We've already made double our initial investment and then some. It will eventually be taken off the market. Okay, gotta have good dialogues for sure. AI, not so important. Pretty good level design. Okay. We make 30,000 copies. Sales are dropping off. Notice you'll pay monthly costs. These always happen every month, so you need to keep this in mind when you are designing your games. Graphics, not so important. Sound, even less important. World design, super important. That would be my guess. Come on, 30? 30,000? Yes? Yes? No. Still, 197,000 is remarkable. So we spent like 30,000 on the original game, more than our return on our investment. Let's clean up the bugs in Hemlock Shears. And we'll finish the game. This game probably won't be as good because we don't have as many bubbles as we did the last time. Which means I probably messed up somehow when designing the game. But we'll see how it turns out. We need something to keep bringing the cash in until we can get our new engine. So we release the game. And let's take a look at the reviews. Oh, this is bad. This is real bad. Oh god. Wow. I'm not talking because I'm at a loss for words. Yeah, I think I made a mistake doing mystery and simulation. Let's get a game report. I didn't get this first time called this govador.com.gov. That's pretty brilliant. Recent market studies suggest that Govador G64 is steadily outselling competitors in the PC sector, because they prefer the lower price, greater availability, and flexible hardware configuration over other home computers. Experts say this might spell the end of competing hardware manufacturers. Oh, how wrong you are. People are buying it. They're not buying very much of it, but they're buying it. Mystery and simulation works together, and engine doesn't matter very much. Well... Oh dear. You better make a new game. Airplane simulation. Yes. We'll make our first game for the PC. Save us a little bit of money since I doubt Hemlock Shears is going to make very much money. What should we call this? Airplane simulation. Airplane simulation. Aerodrome Tycoon. Get a little bit of an oldie-timey Britishy feel to it. That could be fun. 2D graphics, yes please. And hopefully this will be our last game with the default engine. You'll notice, since this is the first time we're doing a simulation, we incorporate the hints and know for sure the engine is pretty important. It's got a double plus. Who cares about the storyline of a simulation game? In fact, I'm going to kick that up a little bit farther. I love there's a ladder, but there's no reason to have a ladder. Everything's on the same thing, but that's okay. Artificial intelligence, important. Dialogues, not very. I think my problem was treating mysteries as a simulation, and simulations have no interest in dialogues. I mean, you're playing something like a Civ 6 or something, you don't care about the simulation. You don't care about the story. You should make your own story, that's what makes it so much fun. I like graphics, like sound, maybe world design less important. There we go. I'm feeling better about this one. Oh no, according to rumors, the Japanese company Invento is planning to launch its very own home gaming console. Invento is known for the widely successful arcade game Dinky King. Many industry experts doubt that home gaming consoles will take off, but we are eager to see what Invento will deliver. Yes, no one in America owns a single gaming console. I don't have one in the front room right now. So we'll give this a few more seconds. It's finished. Let's iron out the bugs there, Avindian. And they're gone. Already much higher score than the last game we had. Get the bonus for the new topic and a new combo. And we now have enough research to design our own engine, which will be pretty cool. Ooh, we get a level up for our graphics, which should mean we can make better graphics. Yeah, that game kind of stuck. There's an achievement, a Steam achievement, that you can get if you get everything at once. Oh, this one looks much better. A 7, that's good. Another 7. A 7. And the last one always gives you a different number. Except this time, 7's across the board. I like it. That should make for a very successful game, which will make lots of sales while we are developing our new engine. It already outsold Hemlock Shears. Oh, this is an important aspect of the game that can help you earn a little bit of money and a tiny bit of research. You can do projects that will mean you're not developing games, but you get a direct cash infusion. It doesn't cost you anything. So if you ever need some quick cash, contract works work. So as Jason, our buddy here, says, "Hi there, I just finished Aerodrome Tycoon." That's impossible. The game's been out for what, like 2 months, and it's a simulation. Let's be realistic here, Jason. I don't know how much I trust your judgment. I'm in the contracting business, and we could use skills like yours. If you're ever short on cash, just let me know and I will see if I have some work for you. We might do one of those just to show you what it looks like here. Let's get a game report first. Airplane simulation, great combo. Artificial intelligence, very important. Not something I remembered. What do we want to do now? Let's go ahead and actually build our new engine. You will get some of your research back, so it's not a flat 50 research points. You'll actually make some of that back. Invento has confirmed recent rumors and announced their plans to release a new home gaming console called TES early next year. Cartridge-based games and a uniquely designed controller. This is clearly an Invento TES, and anyone who tells you differently is lying. They're horrible, horrible liars. We've created our first custom game engine. So now we can actually build the engine. We'll call this the Avindian Mark 1. We're gonna pony up some pretty big cash for this. All of these things will improve games to a greater or lesser degree. They'll also make the actual production of games more expensive. So this is why I wanted to make Aerodrome Tycoon, something to earn us enough money to help pay for the cost of this engine. So let's go ahead and create that. He's not very fast at coding new engines. It's got to take a moment to scratch his head. Now I kind of have to scratch my head. And while we're looking, we can look at our game history and see how we've done so far. So, super awesome game. Very high profits. Cost $460K to make, $151K. Very nice. We lost money on Hemlock Shears. Oh dear. But we're still going strong with Aerodrome Tycoon. No, I take it back. It just came off the market. But you can still see we made a substantial profit. And it's funded our new engine. So we won't have a game on the market for a while. What we might do is we might actually try one of the coding projects to make us a little bit extra money before we start developing this new game. Yes. Let's see what kind of contract work there is here. So this tells you what skills you would need to have. We'll do game backdrops. The person you start the game with, the game owner, is always equally good at everything, so you want to try to find things that are pretty close to each other. So if I complete this in 5 weeks, I get 15K. If I fail to complete it, it's 7K. So let's give it a shot. I think we should finish this pretty easily. We did a little bit of research for this too. And there we go. An easy 15K. So Jason says he might have new contracts every 6 months. But let's make a new game. This isn't called Contractor Tycoon, it's Game Development Tycoon. And we're going to pick a dance simulation. And we will call this Quadrille Uprising, or QQU for short. This is going to go so badly, I can already tell. But we'll use the Avi Gaming Mark 1. We're going to get the best 2D graphics. Today, the new game platform has been released, and we'll take a look at that once we're finished here. Okay, we want a save game. Linear stories, not so important. So we'll go ahead and set this up like this. We need to get some new topics. That's the next thing we'll do with our research points. This could be so bad. We'll leave this like this. We're pretty good at making simulations at this point, so we might as well stick with what works, right? And there he goes again. I love the Pong thing in the background there. Let me demote world design and slightly promote sound. One thing you have to do is not release the same type of game too often, because you'll oversaturate the market. And that'll hurt your share, and it'll actually mean you get bad reviews. There goes the last bug. Let's see how Quadrille Uprising works. A new record for design. That's because of the new graphics. Oh, we got a whole bunch of stuff leveling up. So we'll see what that unlocks. I made it to level 2. Huzzah! So right away we can see we have new things we can add to the engine if we research them later. Game tutorials and mono sound. Let's see. I thought this was going to get awful reviews. We do need a new topic though, because we're starting to run out of ideas. I think we're going to get more 7s across the board. Alright. Very nice. Let's get a new game report. Costs you $51,000 to make, so we have to make at least that much. Kid simulation is a great combination. World design doesn't matter very much. And this is also important, so we know that if we want to make simulation games, we can release them for PC, which is pretty cool. Okay, let's do some research. Okay, so you notice new topics are always just 10 research, but if you want something else, you have to spend a little bit of money. We'll start with this. Oh, we've got to get ourselves a martial arts game. Let's get that research done. And there we go, a new topic. Do I want to research the sound? Yeah. Our game is doing pretty well. And if we can do the martial arts RPG, that could be pretty hardcore. Now, if we want to, and we can do this without actually looking at anything here, we have to build a new engine if we want to add mono sound to the game. So that's a research, this is something that'll come into effect later on. We're not going to do this now. But we will develop a new game, a martial arts RPG. Okay, so whenever a new system comes out, you can pay for a license. You have to pay for a license and then pay for the development costs on top of it. We don't have enough in the bank that I'm comfortable with buying the TES license yet, but I do think it's going to be a good one to have. Let's make another PC title, the Avi Gaming Mark 1, and we will call it Samurai Quest 1, because I'm hoping that Samurai Quest will become a long-standing franchise. Absolutely, let's pony up for the graphics. Pretty decent sales. How well did that do in comparison to, say, Aerodrome Tycoon? Almost the exact same numbers, which is somewhat disappointing because it cost more to make. But it did sell more. So, no fans of Helmlock series. I was hoping there'd be like one. You know, that guy who only likes terrible games or something. Super Awesome Game is still our best seller of all time. So that is something we'll want to make a sequel to a little bit later on. A linear story, absolutely. Gotta have your stories and quests. Engine's not so important for an RPG. So, he's starting to get tired, sitting there scratching his head instead of making the damn game. Get to work, you lazy bastard. Gotta have good dialogue, it's an RPG. And level design's important, AI not so much. He only has screwdrivers and wrenches. How is he ever going to get anything done in the garage with screwdrivers and wrenches? It's never going to happen. World design, definitely. Then graphics, then maybe sound less important. The TES has been a massive success. How shocking. I have to disagree with this one. Playing certain games with a controller, absolutely, I agree. I could not imagine playing Madden on a PC. But most of the time, the keyboard and mouse does perfectly fine. Oh, thank you very much. Well, we're going to set a new standard for design, I think. Some time to post-process. Bugs are done. New record for design. Nice. Oh, level up in stories and quests. And as you level up in a certain area, you'll be better at that for future games. Oh, I'll level up to our graphics. Very nice. Let's release the game. Come on, Samurai Quest 1. It's really hard to get the really good review scores. Oh, an 8. When you're stuck in your garage, as I am. But once you make a certain amount of money, it'll actually invite you to go, oh, that's my best reviewed game to date. Once we make enough money, it'll offer to let us go to a new place here. So we are cranking out the cash now, which is lovely to see. Let's get our game report. There's just no reason not to do a game report, to be honest with you. Ooh, Samurai Quest 1 is a surprise hit with players. The developer of Avindian Gaming is fairly new to the gaming industry, but we cannot wait for what they will develop next. See, martial arts, everyone loves martial arts RPGs. I can't think of an actual martial arts RPG, come to think with it. Tenchu kind of served that role, sort of, but that was more an action-adventure type thing. I'd love to see an actual martial arts RPG. Maybe Jade Empire would be a martial arts RPG. I haven't actually played that, but I do have a copy of it somewhere. So there we go. Very successful game. Do we create another engine? Or do we make a new game? Let's do some research on game tutorials. That's something we can use to fill some time while we see if we get the offer to move into the bigger office. I don't remember if it's a certain number of years or what. So this is a new development in the game. You can design games that appeal to specific age groups. But that's something we'll have to research. Yep, target audience. Game tutorials, very nice. Yeah, target audience is, do I want to do this or do I want to make a new engine? We can add 2 new things to it, so I think it's time for the Avi Gaming Mark II. Oh, good lord, that's going to suck up most of our cash. But it'll be worth it. Let's see what else he got. He's got a nice little bulletin board there with some sticky notes. Vina, a Japanese company, is planning to make a home gaming console. He's got some books, an open cardboard box, some pens and pencils. And he recycles. At least that's the color of our recycling bins. Maybe yours aren't blue. Come on, let's get out of the garage, you guys. Bam. New engine. Because we're getting low on cash, let's see here. Is it time for a sequel? No. You know what? Let's eat the costs. And let's research an aliens action game. Oh, this is going to be awesome. Today, Venus confirmed recent rumors about a new game console and announced the Master V. Massively superior. Yes, we're going to spend all of our money on the Master V license. And then we'll go bankrupt in like 20 minutes. I think after we finish our next game, we'll call it an episode. So we've got ourselves a new game for our new engine. We'll do Aliens Action. We'll call the game... People Who Are Not From Earth. I admit the title's not very catchy, but let's keep pushing the PC for now. Use our new engine. And away we go. We'll add tutorials, definitely. Engine matters, gameplay matters more, story matters not at all. So in order to save money, we may actually cut out the linear story because it adds a little bit to the game, but not very much. So here we go, getting some nice technology and design in there. Gotta get some good AI in an action game. Dialogues, and some pretty good level design. Actually, artificial intelligence will be more important for action. I kind of wish I thought a little bit more heavily about that. We'll see. Definitely going to upgrade the sound. Let's increase the amount of time. As you get to some of the more complex upgrades, which we'll see later on in the game, you'll have to spend a certain minimum amount to implement something into your game. So this game's costing us a lot of money. People who are not from Earth had better be super popular. Clean up the bugs. Bugs are gone. That's a tech high for us, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Let's get in some good experience here. A lot of experience with this engine. Release the game. Oh, come on, people who are not from Earth. Oh, you teased me with that 10. That was a hard achievement to get. You can get one for getting all 10s in the game. That was very difficult. A 9. Oh, this should hopefully make its money back. So we're going to end the game, or end this week's episode. This day's episode. We might have another episode this week. I don't know. We're going to do a quick research report, and that'll be what we end the game with today. Alright. Aliens in Actions works well together. Gameplay is very important. People like PC action games. I could have told you that. So that'll be it for this week. I hope you enjoyed the series. Please remember to comment down below. Tell me how you like the new series. Again, comment with game suggestions. That might be fun. Remember to like and subscribe. And until next time, game on and have fun, my friends.